It's getting messy for ICOs all over the place. We're getting wrecked, okay? But fear not. In this storm now, there's a new ICO called Colors, and it's going to save us. Let's take cover on the inside.
Welcome to the Colors ICO. Okay, this reminds me of the song, you know the song, I can see clearly now the pain is gone. Because with Colors, I can clearly see that the pain of ICOs is gone, okay? Because this is a very, very fun ICO. They have a great bounty program. You can participate in it, and you can start to win color tokens every week. You can do, you can do a lot of Facebook likes, tweets, and all the stuff. And most of all, this is a very innovative ICO, okay? It's an innovative ICO with a very unique consensus mechanism that uses hardware. Now that is really, really something that is different from the rest. In addition to that, it is also built for dApps, and that is what I find most interesting, because it starts from the ground up being built for dApps, and the ICO is going to be soon. So I urge you guys to get in. So without wasting further time, we're going to go forward to the inside. It's a fun thing to go in, and it's from Korea, and we wonder if this is going to be the one that's going to bring back the good times like Icon, which went 100 times, using these categories, which we use to evaluate as sector, hype, use case, tokenomics, roadmap, and intelligence. Let's go to the inside. Here's the website for Colors ICO. Just go to www.colors.org. And one thing I mentioned about Colors is that it is a fun ICO. And if you look here, there's a color bounty program. You can get 20,000 colors. There's like color weekly airdrop, get 240,000 colors. And, it's something that you can do as an activity here to get to know colors and what it is. And I think this is very important for you to basically get used to blockchain. I mean, this is something where you really want to go in and get to know more about colors. You can join the Facebook group, Twitter, and of course the Telegram group from the website here. And it's really something unique. They have the signature video here. Just subscribe. And what I really like about Colors is that I think it really says the right messages here. It is a store. It is something that's really designed for dApps. I see it somewhat like the Apple Store or the Chrome Web Store. There's simply a lot of applications on Colors. For example, if you're going on ETH, Ethereum platform, you have a lot of dApps. You have a lot of tokens, coins, and stuff. And, it really gets complicated as more and more dApps are designed. But for Color, they use the same coin. They're built on the same platform. And that makes it very, very simple. And Colors is also doing its best now, basically, to get going dApp community, as well as to get people to share Colors, so that you get network effects on all this. And the best way to learn about Colors is really you just go to the Color white paper here, and here you can also read, right? The Color platform is about a colorful dApp store. It's decentralized applications for the people, and this is one thing that really makes them very, very different from all the rest. They are one of the few that have solved the limitations in blockchain scalability. If you want something more simple, you can really go and look at the one pager. I really love this. Again, if you go here, you want to know what Color is all about. It is about the dApp layer. They have color media, color future, color music, color legal, color reward, color career, medical, color home, color TV, and all other dApps. And a cursory look at this shows you that all of these are basically apps that we use a lot. So it's something that's really designed for the people versus all the techies. And I think this is what makes it totally different than all of the other ICOs. And being from Korea, despite a competition from other blockchains such as Icon, Hycon, a Phantom, I think this is probably the most comprehensive blockchain of all. You know, Icon, of course, is starting to go out now with a lot of developers on the Icon network, but Color attempts to really jumpstart this by starting all this dApp layer, and it is a third generation blockchain platform focusing on developing dApps, again with the Color development kit. And the blockchain is built using a PUF, physical unclonable function chips, to enable true P2P transaction there. So it's also very, very unique because they thought in front about developing this dApps, and they also are probably the first to use a chip for consensus, and that is something that really sets Color apart. And if you go here, what is PUF? Well, it uses hardware-based consensus. We know that there are many fast blockchains that always are coming out and announcing how fast they are. You know, the methods differ, like sharding in Ethereum, such as Quark chain, or DAGs, you know, such as Phantom. But there's also other innovative ways to get consensus, like proof of useful work using the Intel SGX environment, running a trusted execution environment. But Color is different. You know, Color uses the PUF, physical unclonable function, which is essentially a chip to resolve the issue, okay? And it's developed by ICTK Pure Chain Technology, which enables real-time transaction through a hardware chip. So this is something that I feel can really rival the new generation hash graphs or directed acrylic graphs. It was developed by ICTK, Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, Kung Hui University, and Epinomy CL. So this is really something that differentiates Color from the rest, because once you remove the issue of transactions per second, then it's a whole new ball game. And this is what's really beautiful about Colors here. Now, all transactions that are going through the PUF chip, they're already confirmed by the PUF. So, you know, they don't need to go to be confirmed through the blockchain. And since most of the transactions are going towards the PUF chips, then it really doesn't matter anyway. This is what speeds up the Color blockchain here. And you look here in the white paper, you know, how Color has simplified all this. This is the new Color chain consensus to the PUF chip. And as a result, you know, because using the PUF chip, it does not require mining or third-party verification during the transaction, enabling much fast transaction speeds than even MasterCard or Visa. And if you look at the other blockchains, they are trying to catch up with MasterCard or Visa, but Color goes at an even faster transaction speeds than both of this. So really, there's no need for a third party to prove every time you hand cash to another person. The PUF chip simply simplifies the transactions. In the case of transactions between PUF chip users, the transaction does not need to be recorded in the public ledger, which enables a true P2P or peer-to-peer transactions. And this is what we really want. Now, when there is no PUF node, then it's still required to verify to the blockchain. But as you can see just now in the beginning, that Colors is already starting and building all these dApp layers, then it only goes naturally that most of the transactions are going to go through the PUF chip. And this is how they really speed up the network so that, you know, it becomes something like a real speed demon. And not only that, Colors goes then through a step forward by introducing something that's called color pixels. Okay, now this is a program to encourage the exchange of tokens in a gift economy, and what they do is they award 5 pixels to every KYC identified individuals, and they have to transfer out to another wallet to be exchanged to color chain. So this creates diffusion and a fair distribution of wealth, including to other individuals, charities, startups, and nonprofits. Now, I really like this because this forces the pixel giver to give the pixel to others. If not, you know, it's nullified. And this really is what is going to launch the network effects or Metcalfe's law, because if you look at how network effects really work, you know, it's more on connection, establishing connections. The more connections that you have, then the better it is. For example, if you have 2 connections, 2 phones here, you have 1 connection. On the other hand, if you have a total of 5 phones here, you have 10 connections. And yet when you have a total of 12 phones, you have 66 connections. So this goes without saying that, you know, if you have 12 people in the Colors network that are able to exchange pixels with each other, then there's 66 different connections. And this, I believe, is what is going to give Color a real huge impact in the future, because you have people using the system very effectively. Now, one of the most exciting aspects of Colors is that, you know, it's reduced the tokens during the token generation event. It's going to offer like 200 million of an already reduced 350 million tokens. So this means that there's more for everyone to own something that is of a scarce token, and there's also a lot which is actually being offered through the Color bounty tokens. And please note that this reduced set does not in any way affect our bounty token. And this is what I really like about this. You see, they have actually reserved like 50 million Color tokens for the bounty and partnership. And this is a way of really rewarding the community directly. And if you want more information, you should really head out to probably one of the best Medium blogs here. You go to the blogs for Colors here. You have the news on Color, and this is the latest one, which I like. They've even hired this guy as an advisor, Professor David Thor. Now, this guy obviously doesn't look technical, but hey, guys, you know that ICOs now are not only about technology, are not only about blockchain, but it's about regulation. And this guy, Professor David Thor, is an assistant professor of law and information sciences. And if you go down here, yeah, it goes beyond, strictly beyond technology and computing. He graduated from the University of California, Berkeley School of Law, received his postdoctoral fellowship from Yale Law School. He has been working in the IT and security fields for over 20 years, during which he also received his PhD in information management and systems from UC Berkeley. So this is really great, because you need really someone like this in order to carry the company forward. And one of the things that I like about Color, as I said, you know, the ICO is really fun. Many advantages here. Token metrics, you get more of a scarce resource. There's a lot of gift giving through Color pixels. It really kills the argument of TPS transactions per second, because you have the PUF chip. It's a truly fun bounty program with many activities. Don't forget to sign up, okay, because every Wednesday, guys, every Wednesday there's really great event, at least until 15th of August, where they have a lucky draw to win 6,000 colored tokens, very simplified KYC procedures, and most importantly, it's Korean, and Korean ICOs generally do well. And of course, with the SCARS token, you can bet that this is going to do very, very well soon. Now, in addition to that, one of the strengths here is I think they got this whole picture already envisioned. Look here, the definition of dApps, that they're going to develop about 10 mega dApps being developed for the color platform that are powered by a single unifying color coin. Now, this is very, very impressive to say the least here. And they describe it all this in this very, very nice website here. And you look at the milestone here, milestone 1, the color MVP platform in October 2018. And in April 2019, you have the color platform 1.0 with color virtual machine. And December 2020, verification and validation toolchip, December 2019. Before that, you have the color platform 2.0 with color chain main network, dApp development network, color chain development. So you see a very, very interesting and very, very detailed update on what they are really doing. And you look at the team here of advisors. You have Chris Howard. He's from SoftTech Development Corp, and 20-year-old leading technical software services company with offices in the US and Europe. You have John David, founder of Crypto Tech Ventures and Consultancy Limited, FinTech Strategist. Sven Lung, CEO, Green Park Content. This guy is based in London, Content Distribution Network. You have here John Pablo Orlando, business development and angel investor here. And also people like, Jill Kerrigan, Chen Hao Zhang. Okay, this is from Gold Sand Capital, because you need a lot of funders here for this. The project like this that ends somewhere in 2020 needs funders. So they have that now. And you have here Elena, Urena. So there's a lot of people here from very, very different backgrounds, from all types of geographies, including this. He's Takeshi Natsano from Japan, and it's everywhere here. And you look at the board here, Young K. Cho, he's the president, software professional, having development to top management, companies like NVIDIA, Samsung Electronics, and all that. And Nikolay Pakulin, this is with a PhD, and he graduated from Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology in 1998. Very smart guy. Okay, so they even use a multinational team to develop this very, very unique blockchain. You have here Young Wook Lee, initially working as accountant in the US, chief operating officer, and now is the strategic planning lead. You have Jeremy Kwan, he's the CSO. You have Mikhail Levin, head of R&D in Russia. So the R&D is really in Moscow here, which I think is really, really great. So this is a combination of Russia and also Korea. The global development lead worked at Samsung Electronics, Samsung Techwin, and SK Hynix, one of Korea's leading semiconductor companies, as a software engineer. And here you have the global marketing. So these guys really are on the board. And you look at the team here, there are people from here, Brandel Nodal, okay, Artem Vorobayov, Vitaly Korolev, Guang Jill Choi, Jihon Yi, Yongchon Che. So this is great. It is really a nice combination of Russia and Korea. And this is why I'm so bullish on it. You look at all the partners here, they're all the leading partners in blockchain. So you rarely have this in any ICO. If it's Korean, it's all Korean, but this is working with many people around the globe. We talk about Colors is a blockchain project which uses a hardware chip for consensus, a platform designed for dApps from the ground up, a path to network effects by sharing color tokens. And when you do this, it's really not about speed, because transactions per second, so what? And this gives it good use cases. So the most interesting thing about colors is that there's a lot of use cases, and I feel that this is the best way to see how this blockchain will perform on whether it's sustainable over the long run. So what I've did is I've come up with a use case of colors from Malaysia. You see, in Malaysia, we have this organization called MAGIC. This is the Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Center, and it's the hotbed for startups and innovation in Malaysia. And this is very, very important because currently I think that we are extremely weak in blockchain and fintech. For example, look at this survey here, major fintech companies in Southeast Asia by country and field. You look, Singapore is leading the pack with 32. Malaysia only have 4. We have none in Bitcoin and blockchain. And this, I think, is really quite unfortunate because a lot of countries are already leading us. For example, those of you in crypto know that there have been some great companies from Thailand and Indonesia. Of course, from Thailand, it's Omisi Go. Okay, and from Indonesia, it is Pundi X. But Malaysia doesn't have such an equivalent, and this is where Color's participation in the Malaysian ecosystem can help because it can provide a ready-made solution to test out new future applications in Malaysia's national regulatory sandbox. So really, the national regulatory sandbox is a place where basically people can go and play with certain applications that will have benefit to Malaysians. And although the regulations have not been defined, the fact that if there are benefits, then the authorities will find a way to make the approvals for the regulatory approvals and stuff. And I think Color's advantage is really the experience of many dApps across different verticals. You know, Colors is designed as a blockchain to develop a lot of dApps through the Color development kit. And I think this is the primary advantage of Colors that's going to help it bring it forward. And you look at all these focus sectors of Malaysia. This is where the sectors that they're going to focus on in the national regulatory sandbox, and you compare this to Colors, it's similar, isn't it? And of course, this has a single unifying Color coin on Color chain on the ecosystem. And a lot of these applications can also be brought here. For example, one of the verticals that we have identified here is healthcare, and we also have Color Health here. So the fact that this can match to this makes it easy rather than having many different blockchains and you know, having to develop many different technologies and having to have many skill sets. You only have one in order to do this. And also with a consensus mechanism based on the physically unclonable chip, I think this is very good because you can't just simply clone the chip. Okay, the consensus is through a hardware mechanism. There doesn't need to be a third-party verifier. Hence, transactions can happen very, very fast. And also, if Colors does decide to come here and work with the national regulatory sandbox, then I think it's good because Colors can also tap on grants by the Malaysian government. And this is what will really accelerate the development of Malaysia in the field of blockchain going forward. Final analysis, is it a yay or nay? You know, it's in the right sector, which is blockchain. It's, you know, the Colors, basically the bounty program makes it really, really hyped. It has a really good use case, the 10 mega dApps. The tokenomics are good, it's been reduced. They have a solid roadmap with funders. And of course, the team is strong combination of Russia and also Korea. So is Colors going to rock the Korean blockchain scene? I think so, okay, because the team is so talented. This ICO basically rocks, guys. It's a fun way to fall in love with the concept of Colors, and with the law of scarcity being applied, I can bet that this is going to be great, okay? This is a great ICO to go in, and I say yay!